Have you ever felt like you were caught in a frustrating emotional game? One day, she's texting you non-stop, complimenting you, and talking about future plans. The next day, she disappears without a word. Or worse, she keeps sending you mixed signals, just enough to keep you hooked but never really commits. These feelings of frustration, confusion, and doubt are all too familiar for many. But if you think there's nothing you can do to escape this emotional whirlwind, let me tell you a powerful truth. You can take control. Emotional games are not random. They're often used as a way to test your emotional strength, to see if you're confident, grounded, or easily manipulated. If you respond with insecurity or lose control, you risk losing respect and attraction. But this isn't a story about revenge or playing manipulative games in return. This is about mastering yourself. Stoic philosophy, with timeless lessons from great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, teaches us that true strength doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from mastering your own mind. When you can control your emotions, hold firm to your values, and respond with calmness, you not only rise above these games, but also build a stronger, more meaningful life. In this video, we'll dive into 10 powerful Stoic strategies that will help you stay emotionally grounded, recognize subtle patterns in relationships, and learn to act wisely and with self-control. These aren't just tools to break free from emotional traps. They are a roadmap to personal growth and becoming the strongest version of yourself. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss content that helps you master your emotions, develop your inner strength, and build a more fulfilling life. Let's begin this journey together. A journey that will teach you how to master yourself and transform the way you navigate relationships forever. Breaking down the issue. Why do emotional games happen? Let's address the elephant in the room. Why do some women resort to behaviors like ghosting, hot and cold attitudes, or breadcrumbing? These aren't just random acts of inconsistency. They often serve a deeper purpose. At their core, these actions can be seen as tests, intentional or subconscious, to evaluate your emotional strength. Ghosting, for instance, creates confusion and forces you to question your actions, while breadcrumbing keeps you invested with just enough hope to maintain your attention without offering real commitment. The hot and cold dynamic? It's a roller coaster designed to see if you'll chase harder when the attention is withdrawn. These behaviors often stem from a need to assert control, gauge their value in the relationship, or protect their own emotional vulnerability. But it's important to recognize that these actions aren't necessarily malicious. People, consciously or not, play these games to feel secure or gain validation. In a fast-paced, attention-driven world, where power dynamics in relationships often feel unbalanced, such strategies can become a coping mechanism. Now, let's talk about the other side, how these games affect you. The constant push and pull can erode your confidence and leave you doubting your worth. You might find yourself analyzing every interaction, searching for where you went wrong or trying to figure out how to fix the situation. This can trap you in an exhausting cycle of overthinking and chasing after validation, making you feel emotionally drained and powerless. Emotional games create an illusion that you must prove yourself to regain stability in the relationship. This not only damages your self-esteem, but also shifts your focus away from what truly matters, your own growth and emotional well-being. Here's where Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective: control what you can, let go of what you can't. The Stoics remind us that external events, including how others behave, are beyond our control. What lies within our power is our response to those events. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In the context of emotional games, Stoicism teaches us to stop giving our power away. When someone pulls away, tests you, or acts inconsistently, your strength lies in maintaining your composure. By refusing to chase after validation or react impulsively, you not only protect your inner peace, but also send a powerful message. You are unshaken by external chaos. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or ignoring genuine concerns. It's about learning to navigate relationships with wisdom and emotional discipline. The moment you prioritize your own stability and self-respect, the influence of these games begins to fade. Understanding why emotional games happen the psychology behind them, and their impact on your mental health is the first step to breaking free. Armed with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, you'll no longer feel like a victim of these dynamics. Instead, you'll emerge as someone who approaches relationships with clarity, strength, and intention. 10 Stoic strategies to take control. 1. Emotional detachment. In a world where emotions often dictate our decisions and reactions, the Stoic principle of detachment serves as a guiding light. Detachment doesn't mean apathy or indifference. It's not about shutting down your feelings or avoiding relationships. Instead, it's about reclaiming control over your inner world, ensuring that your peace isn't held hostage by external events or others' actions. It's a quiet strength, a resilience that allows you to remain steady amid life's inevitable storms. The Stoics understood that much of our suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from our perceptions and reactions. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor-philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound truth reminds us that while we cannot control the behavior of others or the unpredictability of life, we can always choose how we respond. Detachment is the practice of focusing on this inner power, shaping our thoughts and actions rather than being swept away by the emotional tides of external chaos. Imagine this scenario. Someone you care about ghosts, you. Days or weeks of silence replace what seemed to be a promising connection. Your first instinct might be to panic, overanalyze, or even blame yourself. But ask yourself, what does this accomplish? Chasing for answers or validation only deepens the emotional grip the situation has on you. Instead, a Stoic approach would be to detach emotionally, step back, and ask, what part of this is within my control? Detachment doesn't mean you don't care, it means you don't let the situation consume you. It's about finding peace in the fact that you've done what you could and letting go of the rest. This mindset not only protects your inner stability, but also allows you to act with clarity and intention, rather than from a place of emotional reactivity. How to practice. Detachment. A Stoic exercise. One of the most effective ways to cultivate detachment is through meditation. Meditation isn't just sitting quietly with your eyes closed, it's an active practice of training your mind to observe without attachment. Set aside time. Dedicate 5 to 10 minutes daily to sit in a quiet space. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and take deep breaths, feeling the rhythm of your inhale and exhale. Observe without judgment. As thoughts arise, whether they're about work, relationships, or unresolved emotions, acknowledge them without attaching significance. Imagine these thoughts as leaves floating down a stream, passing by without you needing to hold on to them. Anchor yourself in the present. When your mind wanders, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This simple, yet profound practice teaches you to separate yourself from the chaos of your thoughts and emotions. Over time, this mental discipline strengthens your ability to detach from external drama and focus on what truly matters. When you master detachment, you discover an extraordinary freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of someone else's behavior or the whims of fortune. Instead, you become the calm in the storm, the unshakable presence others admire but rarely understand. But detachment isn't a destination, it's a daily practice, a choice you make every time life tests your composure. The question is, are you ready to stop being controlled by what's outside of you and start mastering what's within? Let me ask you, what would your life look like if you no longer gave away your peace to people or situations beyond your control? 2. Recognizing behavioral patterns. One of the most empowering aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on clarity, seeing things as they truly are, free from distortion or wishful thinking. When it comes to relationships, this means recognizing patterns of behavior, especially those that create emotional turbulence. Whether it's the push-pull dynamic of someone being hot and cold, or the subtle breadcrumbing that keeps you on the hook without commitment, these patterns often reveal more about someone's intentions than their words ever could. The Stoics taught that understanding reality is the first step to mastering it. Epictetus reminded us, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but the judgments we make about them." Emotional games thrive in ambiguity. They prey on our hope, doubt, and overthinking. Recognizing patterns is how we bring clarity to that ambiguity, replacing uncertainty with understanding and confusion with confidence. Someone you're dating showers you with attention one day, then becomes distant the next. You might feel a pang of anxiety, wondering what went wrong or how you can fix it. But what if this isn't about you at all? Recognizing the behavior as a pattern, a test of emotional strength or a lack of their own consistency, helps you step back and respond from a place of control rather than reaction. How to identify and respond to behavioral patterns. Observe without reacting. Pay attention to actions, not just words. Are their behaviors consistent? Do they align with what they've promised? Ask yourself honest questions. Is this a one-time occurrence, or does it follow a pattern? Does this behavior make you feel respected and valued, or confused and anxious? Set your own standard. Once you see a pattern, decide what you're willing to tolerate. Communicate your expectations calmly. I value consistency in relationships. If that's not something you're ready for, I understand. But I won't engage in anything less. By recognizing behavioral patterns, you reclaim the narrative. You stop interpreting every action as a reflection of your worth and start seeing it for what it is, a mirror of their character. This clarity allows you to make decisions rooted in self-respect, not insecurity. Now ask yourself, what patterns am I ignoring, and how can I start observing them with clarity and composure? 3. Building self-worth. Self-worth is the cornerstone of a resilient and fulfilling life. Without it, you're vulnerable to the opinions, behaviors, and validations of others. But when you cultivate self-worth, you carry a quiet confidence that shields you from emotional manipulation and empowers you to demand what you deserve, not through force, but through the undeniable presence of your own value. The Stoics believed that true value comes not from external circumstances, but from within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Self-worth begins with those thoughts, with how you view yourself, what you choose to focus on, and how you prioritize your growth over pleasing others. Have you ever found yourself bending over backward to accommodate someone else's needs, all while neglecting your own? Maybe you've been afraid that if you don't, they'll lose interest or pull away. This mindset not only exhausts you, but also teaches others that your worth is negotiable. The truth is, your value isn't tied to how much you give. It's tied to who you are and how much you respect yourself. How to build self-worth. Invest in growth. Growth fuels confidence. Learn a new skill, take up a hobby, or dive into a passion project. The process of mastering something not only boosts your abilities, but also reminds you of your capability. Focus on physical and mental health. Taking care of your body through regular exercise and a balanced diet is a tangible way to show your self-respect. Pair this with mental health practices like journaling or meditation to maintain emotional clarity and resilience. Surround yourself with uplifting people. Your environment shapes your mindset. Spend time with people who inspire, challenge, and support you, rather than those who drain your energy or feed your insecurities. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward matters. Acknowledge and appreciate your progress, no matter how small. Self-worth grows when you recognize your efforts and take pride in them. When you build self-worth, you stop seeking external validation. You understand that your value doesn't come from someone else's approval, it comes from the way you treat yourself. This confidence creates a magnetic energy, attracting healthier relationships and repelling toxic dynamics. The more you invest in yourself, the less you'll feel the need to convince others of your worth. Instead, you'll naturally draw respect and admiration simply by being secure in who you are. What would your life look like if you stopped measuring your worth by others' actions and started valuing yourself as your greatest investment? 4. Setting clear boundaries. Clear boundaries are the bedrock of self-respect and healthy relationships. Without them, you risk becoming a passive participant in your life, constantly adapting to others' needs while neglecting your own. Boundaries are not about control or shutting people out, they're about clarity. They signal to others how you expect to be treated and what you will or won't tolerate. Stoicism teaches us that self-mastery starts with defining what we value. Epictetus said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." Setting boundaries is the practice of living in alignment with your values and standing firm when others challenge them. Imagine someone in your life who frequently cancels plans at the last minute. Initially, you let it slide, thinking they're just busy. But as the pattern continues, it leaves you feeling disrespected and undervalued. Without boundaries, you might continue accepting this behavior, hoping it will change. With boundaries, you can address the issue calmly and assertively, preserving both your dignity and the relationship's potential for growth. How to set and communicate boundaries. Define your non-negotiables, reflect on your values, and decide what you're unwilling to compromise on. For example, you might value honesty, reliability, or open communication. Write these down to clarify your expectations. Communicate. Lead assertively. Boundaries are only effective when expressed clearly. Use I statements to communicate your needs without blaming the other person. For example, instead of saying, "You never respect my time," say, "I value punctuality in relationships. If we make plans, I'd appreciate it if you could honor them or let me know in advance if something changes." Be prepared to enforce consequences. Boundaries without follow-through are meaningless. If someone repeatedly disrespects your limits, you need to act. This might mean stepping back from the relationship or limiting their access to your time and energy. Practice. Saying no. Saying no is difficult for many people, but it's a powerful act of self-respect. When someone asks for something that conflicts with your values or priorities, respond with clarity and kindness. "I'd love to help, but I have other commitments right now." When you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you and reinforce your own self-worth. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect, and boundaries create the structure needed for that respect to grow. They also filter out toxic dynamics, leaving you with connections that uplift rather than drain you. What boundary have you been hesitant to set, and how might your life improve if you finally enforced it? 5. Don't overreact. In a world filled with constant triggers, arguments, misunderstandings, or moments of disappointment, our first instinct is often to react impulsively. But this is exactly what emotional games rely on: your overreaction. Stoicism offers a better way: the power of calm composure. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is at the heart of maintaining control under pressure. When you pause, instead of reacting, you regain control over the situation and yourself. Someone you care about suddenly becomes distant. Your instinct might be to send multiple messages, seeking clarification or reassurance, but in doing so, you shift the balance of power, appearing needy or reactive. Instead, a Stoic approach involves taking a step back, observing the situation, and responding only when clarity arises. How to cultivate composure. Pause before reacting. When faced with a triggering situation, take a moment to breathe deeply. Count to 10 or even walk away if needed. This pause gives your rational mind time to catch up with your emotions. Ask yourself Stoic questions. Is this within my control? What's the worst that could happen, and can I handle it? Am I responding in a way that reflects my values? Practice the art of silence. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no response at all. By withholding an immediate reaction, you create space for the other person to reflect on their actions and for you to regain your perspective. Reframe the situation. Stoics often reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. For instance, if someone criticizes you harshly, view it as a chance to practice patience or assess whether the feedback holds any truth. Overreactions often escalate conflicts or reinforce unhealthy dynamics. When you maintain your calm, you demonstrate strength and self-control, signaling that you won't be easily manipulated. This approach also gives you the clarity to respond thoughtfully, making your actions more impactful and aligned with your values. How much of your peace are you sacrificing to situations that don't deserve your energy? What might change if you paused before reacting? By mastering boundaries and composure, You create a life where your energy is spent intentionally, not wasted on emotional chaos. Together, these strategies form the foundation of self-mastery, ensuring you remain in control of your reactions and aligned with your values. 6. Lead with intention. In relationships, too often we find ourselves reacting to others instead of leading with intention. This reactive approach leaves you vulnerable to emotional games and uncertainty, constantly trying to adjust to someone else's actions or expectations. But Stoicism teaches us a more empowering path, to live deliberately and align your actions with your values and goals. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." In other words, don't wait for others to define the dynamic of a relationship. Step forward and define it yourself. Leading with intention means being proactive, steering interactions toward clarity and mutual respect, rather than passively responding to someone else's cues. How to lead with intention. Know what you want. Before entering any relationship or addressing a conflict, take time to reflect on your values and what you're seeking. Do you want consistency, emotional support, shared goals? By understanding your desires, you can communicate them clearly and confidently. Set the tone. Be the one to establish the standard of communication and behavior. For instance, if you value honesty, practice it yourself and express that expectation early on. I believe in being upfront about where things stand, and I hope we can have that kind of openness. Take decisive action. If you notice inconsistent behavior or emotional games, address them calmly and directly. For example, I've noticed some hot and cold behavior, and I value consistency in relationships. If something's changed for you, let's talk about it. Stay true to your path. Don't let someone else's behavior derail you. If their actions don't align with your values or goals, have the courage to walk away. Leading with intention means prioritizing your own integrity over trying to fix or chase after someone else. When you lead with intention, you regain control of your narrative. You stop feeling like a passenger in the relationship and become the one steering the course. This confidence not only protects you from manipulation, but also attracts people who value and respect your clarity. What dynamic are you currently allowing in your relationships? And how could it change if you led with intention instead of reacting? 7. Use strategic silence. In a world where we're conditioned to respond immediately, whether it's to a text, a conflict, or an emotional trigger, strategic silence is a rare and powerful tool. Silence isn't passive. It's a deliberate choice to hold space, observe, and regain control. For the Stoics, silence was a discipline that sharpened wisdom and cultivated inner strength. Epictetus reminded us, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." By choosing silence, you resist the urge to react impulsively and instead create a space for reflection, observation, and intentional action. How to use strategic silence. Pause. Before responding. When faced with a situation that triggers strong emotions, whether it's a rude comment or a confusing behavior, choose to pause. Take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to process what's happening. Silence in these moments prevents you from reacting in ways you might regret later. Observe without intervening. Silence allows you to gather information. For example, if someone is being inconsistent or manipulative, remaining silent gives you the chance to see their actions more clearly without being drawn into their emotional turbulence. Create space for others to reflect. Strategic silence can be a powerful tool in communication. When someone expects a reaction and you don't provide it, they're often forced to confront their own behavior. For instance, if someone sends a passive-aggressive message, choosing not to respond immediately or at all can shift the dynamic, making them question their approach. Use silence to regain. Perspective. Silence isn't just external, it's also internal. Spend time in solitude or meditation to reflect on your values and goals. In these quiet moments, you'll find clarity about what truly matters and how to navigate challenges with wisdom. Examples of strategic silence in action. In communication, someone criticizes you unfairly. Instead of reacting defensively, pause and let the moment settle. This silence can disarm the other person and give you time to craft a thoughtful response. In relationships, if someone is playing hot and cold games, withdraw emotionally and stop chasing. Let your silence speak for itself. It signals that you won't engage in their patterns. Strategic silence shifts the power dynamic. It allows you to maintain control, avoid unnecessary conflict, and act with intention. Instead of being drawn into emotional chaos, you stand firm, unshaken by the noise around you. How often do you feel the need to fill silence with words or actions, and what might change if you embraced the power of pausing instead? By leading with intention and mastering the art of strategic silence, you create a space of clarity and control in your relationships. These tools not only protect your emotional well-being, but also ensure that you're engaging with others on your terms, aligned with your values and goals. 8. Accept what you can't control. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the concept of control. Epictetus famously said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." Understanding this distinction is the key to emotional freedom. Many of life's frustrations arise from trying to control the uncontrollable, whether it's someone else's behavior, the past, or unpredictable circumstances. When we cling to these illusions of control, we set ourselves up for disappointment and stress. Acceptance is not about surrendering or being passive. It's about acknowledging reality as it is and focusing your energy on what you can influence: your thoughts, actions, and responses. This mindset doesn't make challenges disappear, but it equips you to face them with clarity and strength. How to practice. Acceptance. Identify what's beyond your control. When faced with a stressful situation, ask yourself, can I change this, or is it outside my power? If it's beyond your influence, such as someone ghosting you or a missed opportunity, release the need to control it. Focus on your response. While you can't dictate external events, you can choose how you react. For instance, if someone acts inconsistently instead of chasing answers, focus on how you can preserve your dignity and peace of mind. Reframe challenges. The Stoics often reframed setbacks as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." If you face rejection, see it as a chance to build resilience and redirect your efforts towards something more fulfilling. Practice amor fati, love of fate. Embrace the idea that everything, both good and bad, has a role in shaping your journey. Instead of resisting life's challenges, accept them as part of your story. Letting go of what you can't control liberates your energy and attention. It allows you to stop wasting time on things that don't serve you and focus on what truly matters: your growth, relationships, and goals. Acceptance doesn't mean you don't care, it means you care deeply about the things within your power. What would your life look like if you stopped fighting the uncontrollable and focused entirely on what you can change? 9. Reflect and adjust. Self-reflection is the cornerstone of Stoic practice. Without it, we drift through life, repeating the same mistakes and falling into the same emotional traps. The Stoics believed in examining their thoughts and actions daily, using reflection as a tool to realign with their values and improve themselves. As Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Reflection helps us separate imagined fears from real challenges, allowing us to grow and act with intention. In relationships, reflection is especially critical. It prevents us from reacting impulsively and encourages us to learn from our experiences. Whether you're navigating emotional games or seeking deeper connections, regular self-reflection ensures that your actions align with your long-term goals. How to practice. Reflection and adjustment. Daily journaling. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to write about your experiences. Ask yourself, what went well today? Where did I let my emotions get the best of me? What could I do differently next time? Writing not only clarifies your thoughts, but also helps you spot patterns in your behavior. Review your interactions. Reflect on recent conversations or conflicts. Were you true to your values? Did you act out of fear, anger, or insecurity? By analyzing these moments, you can identify areas for growth and plan how to handle similar situations better in the future. Seek feedback. Trusted friends or mentors can offer valuable insights into how you're perceived. Ask them for honest feedback about how you handle challenges or relationships. Use this feedback as a tool for self-improvement, not self-criticism. Adjust your actions. Reflection is only valuable if it leads to change. If you notice a pattern of overreacting or chasing validation, commit to breaking that cycle. Set specific goals, like pausing before responding to emotional triggers or practicing gratitude instead of dwelling on negatives. Reflection isn't just about looking back, it's about shaping your future. By taking the time to assess your thoughts and actions, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your relationships. This clarity allows you to make intentional choices that align with your values, creating a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling. When was the last time you paused to truly reflect on your actions, and what might you discover if you made it a daily practice? Through acceptance and reflection, you cultivate the self-awareness and resilience needed to navigate life's challenges with grace. Together, these practices form a powerful foundation for living intentionally and authentically in every relationship and situation. 10. Invest in yourself. The ultimate Stoic strategy for mastering life's challenges, whether in relationships, personal growth, or navigating the chaos of modern living, is to focus on investing in yourself. When you prioritize self-improvement, you build an unshakable foundation of confidence and purpose that no external circumstances can undermine. This isn't just about achieving goals or acquiring skills, it's about committing to the lifelong journey of becoming the best version of yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This profound statement reminds us that true fulfillment doesn't come from seeking validation or proving our worth to others. It comes from dedicating ourselves to growth, aligning with our values, and living with intention. When you invest in yourself, you create a life that is rich in meaning and resilience. You no longer rely on others to fill emotional voids or validate your worth. Instead, you become self-sufficient, radiating confidence and authenticity. This not only enhances your relationships, but also attracts people and opportunities that align with your values and goals. Ways to invest in yourself. Prioritize physical and mental health. Physical health. A strong body supports a strong mind. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep are fundamental to maintaining energy, focus, and emotional stability. Mental health. Practice mindfulness, meditation, or gratitude journaling to strengthen your emotional resilience and maintain clarity under pressure. Expand your knowledge and skills. Lifelong learning is a powerful way to build self-confidence and open new doors. Whether it's picking up a new language, taking a course, or reading widely, every skill you develop becomes a tool in your arsenal. Example: learning negotiation or communication skills not only improves your professional life, but also strengthens your ability to navigate personal relationships with clarity and tact. Cultivate your passions. Dedicate time to hobbies or activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. This could be anything from painting to hiking, coding to gardening. Pursuing your passions reinforces your sense of identity and gives you a sense of purpose beyond external validation. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. The company you keep plays a significant role in your growth. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge and inspire you. Seek mentors, build friendships with like-minded people, and distance yourself from those who drain your energy or pull you into negativity. Set personal goals. Define what success looks like for you, not by society's standards, but by your own values and aspirations. Set specific, measurable goals and work toward them consistently. Each achievement, no matter how small, builds momentum and reinforces your self-worth. The Stoics believed that the most valuable wealth is the strength of your character. Seneca advised, "He who is brave is free." When you invest in yourself, you cultivate the courage to face life's challenges without fear or dependence on others. This inner freedom allows you to make choices that align with your values, even when the path is difficult. By focusing on your growth, you naturally shift the balance of power in your relationships. Instead of seeking approval or chasing people who play emotional games, you become the one who sets the standard. You attract those who respect and value you because you respect and value yourself. Moreover, self-investment creates resilience. When life throws challenges your way, you're better equipped to navigate them with grace and purpose. You stop viewing setbacks as failures and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. If you were to treat yourself as your most valuable asset, what would you start doing differently today? By making yourself the focus of your energy and efforts, you become a source of strength, wisdom, and inspiration, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Investing in yourself isn't selfish. It's the ultimate act of self-respect and empowerment, allowing you to create a life that is truly your own. Applying Stoic philosophy to real life, let's start with a story, a powerful example of how applying Stoic principles can lead to a breakthrough. Meet David, a young professional navigating the complexities of modern dating. For months, David had been in an emotional whirlwind with someone who seemed perfect on paper, but often left him feeling uncertain. She would alternate between intense affection and unexplainable distance. David found himself overanalyzing her every text, adjusting his behavior to win her approval, and feeling anxious whenever she pulled away. One evening, frustrated and exhausted, David stumbled upon the teachings of Stoicism. He learned about detachment, the idea that while he couldn't control her actions, he could control his response. He realized he had been giving away his peace by reacting impulsively to her behavior. David decided to make a change. He began practicing emotional detachment, refusing to let her inconsistency dictate his mood. When she ghosted him for a week, he didn't chase. Instead, he focused on his own growth, applying the Stoic principle of self-investment. He started going to the gym regularly, took up a new hobby in photography, and reconnected with friends he had neglected. Over time, David noticed two things. First, he felt stronger and more confident. The emotional roller coaster no longer consumed him. Second, the woman began noticing his calm, self-assured demeanor and reached out, curious about the shift in his energy. This time, however, David didn't rush back. He had built boundaries and clarity about what he wanted, and he communicated those expectations openly. The dynamic between them shifted, but more importantly, David had transformed. David's story is a testament to the power of Stoicism. By applying its principles, he not only improved his relationship dynamics, but also deepened his sense of self-worth and peace. Practical guide: how to apply these strategies in your life. Now, let's break down how you can integrate these strategies into your daily life. 1. Start with awareness. O. Identify a recurring challenge in your relationships. Is it inconsistency, emotional games, or difficulty setting boundaries? Write it down to clarify the problem. 2. Choose one strategy at a time. O. Begin with one strategy that resonates most with your current situation. For example, if emotional reactivity is an issue, focus on emotional detachment. If you're struggling to define your needs, start with setting clear boundaries. 3. Create a weekly plan. O. Allocate time each day to practice your chosen strategy. For example, spend 10 minutes journaling about your thoughts and reactions. Dedicate 15 minutes to meditation to cultivate inner calm. Identify one boundary to set and communicate it calmly in the week ahead. 4. Monitor your progress. O. Keep a journal to track your experiences. Reflect on what worked, what didn't, and how you felt after applying a strategy. Ask yourself, did I stay composed in challenging situations? Did I communicate my needs clearly? 5. Celebrate small wins. O. Acknowledge each step forward, no matter how small. If you successfully pause before reacting or set a boundary, celebrate that progress. Growth isn't always immediately visible, but with consistency, it becomes undeniable. Here are practical ways to measure your development. Daily reflection. At the end of each day, write about situations where you applied Stoic principles. Reflect on how you felt and what you learned. Weekly reviews. Dedicate 15 minutes at the end of the week to review your journal entries. Look for patterns. Are you reacting less? Are you setting boundaries more confidently? Feedback from others. Ask trusted friends or mentors if they've noticed changes in your behavior. External feedback can offer valuable insights into your progress. Mindset shifts. Notice if you're spending less time worrying about others' actions and more time focused on your growth. Pay attention to moments of calm where chaos once reigned. At its core, Stoicism teaches us one transformative truth. You cannot control others, but you can always control yourself. This idea is liberating. It frees you from the exhausting pursuit of trying to change people or circumstances and redirects your energy toward mastering your thoughts, emotions, and actions. By applying the strategies we've explored, emotional detachment, recognizing behavioral patterns, building self-worth, setting boundaries, practicing silence, and accepting what you can't control, you can navigate relationships and life's challenges with confidence and grace. When you embrace these principles, you become the architect of your inner world. You create a foundation of peace and resilience that no one can shake. Now it's time to take action. Choose one strategy from this video and commit to practicing it for the next 7 days. For example, if you're struggling with emotional reactions, dedicate 10 minutes each morning to meditation. If boundary setting is a challenge, identify one relationship where you need to express your needs clearly. Write it down, track your progress, and notice how your mindset begins to shift. If you found value in this video, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content designed to empower and inspire you. Share this video with someone who could benefit from these timeless principles. Together, we can spread the wisdom of Stoicism and help more people reclaim their inner peace. The journey of Stoicism isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about waking up each day with the intention to live better, think clearer, and act with purpose. When you learn to master yourself, you unlock the power to master your relationships, your challenges, and your life. Let me leave you with this question. What could your life look like if you truly mastered your inner world? The answer starts with your first step. Take it today.